tu sahana bhunaktu sahavidyam karavavahai tejasvina vadidamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namah Shivaya, and welcome to meditation today. I wanted to talk a little bit about the idea of action and when to react and when not to react. And from the point of view that, a lot of times people think that when they don't react or when they take time and sit back, that is the right action. Okay? Now, let me be clear. When in the yoga community, everybody has free will, right? And it's impossible for one teacher or one practitioner or one student of yoga to tell everybody else that now is not the time to react, or don't act, or that non-action is the right, that one should think and be very mindful before one reacts. You can only talk for yourself. Like maybe you haven't been mindful enough, therefore you're not ready to act. But other people may have been mindful for a very long time and they're ready to act. And non-action is action. Like we have to start to accept that not reacting, not responding is a action and can be a very strong, powerful action. When you have leadership in any community who decides to stay when an incident happens, when there's some kind of trauma that is being created, whether it's, sexual harassment, racism, sexism, gender inequality, whatever social issue it is, animal rights, if you decide to stay silent on an issue, it appears that you are condoning the action that's taking place, the wrongful action. So to say, oh, well, let's hold off, be mindful about this, make sure you're not just reacting to cause a problem or because you're angry or whatever, then you're actually kind of like perpetuating the problem. If we're talking about a situation that I haven't been directly affected by because of my gender, my race, my socioeconomic standing, I may not be the person to tell the entire community and other people who are experiencing something that I'm not experiencing, oh, maybe we should take a moment and not react. Maybe we should think about this. Because maybe those people have been thinking about it for years and I just haven't been conscious of it, and it hasn't been brought to my attention that the other beings around me have been thinking about this the whole time. So I can't speak for them. I have to actually stop and listen to the fact that the other beings have had challenges that I haven't experienced, and they're ready to act. There's also the idea that that you don't know the final result of an action until you're at the complete end of that action. So what may seem drastic or even ego-driven to some people in the beginning actually may not be that at all, right? There you're kind of looking at other people making action and you're making judgments. And you can't make those judgments. Yoga would teach you can't make those judgments. What yoga does teach us is that when we are in situations that never get better, that never improve, that you realize that the situation will never change. No matter what you do, you have to calm your mind and take action, right? And this is the teachings for so many American yogis. They've latched on to the teachings of Krishna as the ultimate teachings of yoga. And I think they're wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're the only teachings. I don't think they're the teachings that we should only focus on. But if you look at, and a lot of yoga teachers and yoga practitioners in America, like I say all the time, have only attached themselves to the Bhagavad Gita, not to the full Mahabharata. So they don't even actually know how they get to the Bhagavad Gita. They're just in it. And they're like, oh, Krishna said this, Krishna said that. And it's like, well, we have to kind of figure out how we got here on the battlefield. And in the Bhagavad Gita, before we get to the Bhagavad Gita and the Mahabharata, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, the Kauravas have control politically, and they have cheated their cousins. They've denied them land. They've sent them into exile for 13 years, and then said, "Oh, after 13 years, when you come back, we'll give you a kingdom of your own. We'll share the inheritance with you." And then they come out of exile, and oh well, we're not really going to share this with you, and let's play a dice game to see if you win it. The dice are loaded, and because one of the Pandavas has a gambling problem, he loses everything, including the wife of the Pandavas. And you kind of realize that you realize that it's a loaded dice game, that you're kind of at the end of your rope. Like, nothing that you do is going to, even when you admit that you've cheated in dice, and then you say, I will not do anything for these people, that the only thing left to do is go have action, to go into action. And because you've negotiated to the point where there's no room left to negotiate. And it's interesting because once there's decided that there's going to be a war, exactly what's happening in the world today is the same thing that happens in the Mahabharata. You have, friends and family and teachers and townspeople kind of go, oh, are you really sure you should go to war? Oh, that maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe that's not the right thing to do. Maybe just give it a little more time. And in the end, it's Krishna who says, you got to go to war. Sorry, you have to do this. You have to go into battle because there's no way to settle this. They're never going to give you an inch of what is rightfully yours by your inheritance. And so there's a war that happens. And that's how we get to the Bhagavad Gita. But it's been, decades that have played out to get to that point. Like, the family has grown up together. They've constantly come in conflict with each other. They're at the end of their rope. So when we talk about, when is the time to react, it has to be determined by the person who is at the end of their rope, right? Because if I'm not at the end of the rope, I'm one of those people that's in the crowd going, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't do this right now. Maybe you should think about it. And I can't really answer for them. Like, really, in reality, that's not my place, because they're the ones who are hanging on by a thread. So meditation actually helps us step back and quiet the mind, quiet the chatter, so that you can observe that others are at the end of the rope, right? So that then you don't say something, or that you don't throw out an opinion that makes you look callous or heartless or uncaring, that you you actually look like that you've been thoughtful. And it may be that you have to say, if this is what you feel is best, you should do this. If this is what you think is going to work, then you should try this. And that's really the yogic approach. Then you become very supportive for people who need support. When you say, if this is what you need, if this is what you want, if this is how you perceive the situation, I understand. I support you in your actions to go forward. But when we sit there and question motivation, then this is always kind of pulling people back, actually negating and delegitimizing what they feel. So the meditation process is incredibly important. And meditation kind of sometimes without mantra, right? Mantra is great. Like I've been teaching you guys Om mantra since we started this. But sometimes it's even better to meditate without the mantra, because the mantra can also become chatter of the mind and talking and actually keeping you from observing. So today we're going to actually teach meditation without mantra. Okay? So step one, find your seat. And your seat should be sustainable. You should feel grounded. You should feel uplifted. And you should feel strong in your seat. This is not a relaxed seat. It's a conscious placement of the body. As you close your eyes, draw your senses inward. And allow the breath to deepen. Equalize the inhale and the exhale. And this is yogic breathing. So you're breathing from the abdomen into the chest, into the back of the ribs, even into the clavicle slightly, and you're exhaling everything out. Slowly, evenly, controlled. So inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Don't count. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue that on your own. When the mind wanders, or you become agitated, focus on the inhalation and the exhalation in the equal duration of both the inhale and the exhale. Silently tell yourself, I am not this body. Silently tell yourself, I am not this mind. Silently tell yourself, I am not these thoughts. Silently tell yourself, I am not these emotions. Tell yourself you're Swayambakashit, self-illuminating, eternal, everlasting light. Inhale deeply. Bringing the hands together, rubbing the hands together, building heat within the hands. Bring the hands over the eyes, allow the heat from the hands to be absorbed into the eyes. Bring the hands across the forehead, the top of the head, the back of the neck. And bringing the hands together in prayer, bowing down, allowing the forehead to touch the thumbs. Acknowledging the teachers and the teachings from the past, the present, those that are still yet to be revealed. Om Bolo Sadguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. So as you can see, that while the meditation practice is not action, it is great action. It's setting still, it's being still, but it is an action, right? It's consciously there. It's consciously being in a place where you are sitting and connecting to the self. So everything is action. So when we tell people don't take action, that's action, right? So